Hi friends, it's Immigration Attorney Gail Seeram back with you once again for our Monday live session. So we are live on TikTok, hello to our TikTok friends, and we are live on YouTube. We are still getting our Facebook set up, but while we are doing that, I would like to invite those of you who have started to join us to please share. Please share this link. Share so everybody knows that you are live. I'm going to ask those of you on TikTok if you can let me know what the quality of the video is here, because I am using a different device on TikTok. I'm using an iPad just so I can see your questions better. So I really want to get some input from my TikTok friends. You just send me a message. Let me know that everything is looking good on your end. And we are now officially live on our Facebook page. So we are live on our YouTube page, which is at My U.S. Immigration Lawyer, on our TikTok page, which is also at My U.S. Immigration Lawyer, and on our Facebook page. Okay, so again, my island gal, if you can just let me know if my image and my video is good. Maybe if you guys give me a thumbs up so I know that I'm streaming along great for you guys and you're seeing my video, you're hearing my audio well, because it's a new device that I am using on the iPad, and I'm just a little bit concerned that people may not be hearing me well. So we are here almost every Monday. Just keep updated on our posts. We won't be having a live next Monday, so we'll follow up the following Monday. And we do these lives as us sharing immigration info, immigration news for our community. I am Immigration Attorney Gail Seeram. I have been practicing law for 24 years. We have been doing immigration law in Orlando for 20 years. And we do these sessions so we can help you, the community. So we're going to try to make this as interactive and fun as possible while also answering your questions. Hello, good evening to you. So I'm assuming the audio is good, visual is good, especially for our TikTok friends, because it is a new device. And I want to answer your questions. So please post those questions on YouTube. Post your questions on Facebook, our Facebook group page, which is My U.S. Immigration Lawyer. Okay, I'm gonna try to see how I can see these questions better. I see a friend saying question, if I came, good evening. Good evening. Again, share. Let's share so we get as many people notified about this great session where we are going to share immigration updates and be able to also answer your immigration questions. If you would like more information about my office, go to our website, GailLaw.com. That's www.GailLaw.com, GailLaw.com. You will also hear me refer to my website a few times because we have amazing resources on our website. If you go to our website, you don't even have to talk to someone if you want an appointment with me. If you go to my website, there's a blue button that says book online. You click that button and my schedule will pull up. You just have to give us some basic information, name, email, a photo ID, and you can schedule your appointment with our office. So I see a question coming in. If I came to U.S. with fake documents because asylum, can I AOS in the U.S.? Can I adjust status in the U.S.? That depends on what the fake document is. And let's talk about fake documents since you brought it up there, my friend. So, a lot of people do enter with fraudulent documents, okay? Sometimes people enter the U.S. with someone else's passport, which is a different name, different picture. Sometimes people enter the U.S. with what we call photo switch passport, which is your name with a different name and your photo. It depends on what is the passport. If the passport is a U.S. passport, then you just, when you try to enter with someone else's U.S. passport, yes, you're entering with a fraudulent document because it's not yours, but you are also now making a false claim to U.S. citizenship, which is also a crime. So false claim to U.S. citizenship is a federal crime that you could be charged with, convicted of, and spend time in federal jail. Entering with any kind of fraud with immigration is an immigration violation. So entering with a fraud document, if immigration knew it was a fraud document, depends on what you were charged with. And even though you're seeking asylum, asylum is saying, I fear to go back to my country based on certain religious, social, political affiliation, right? Love to you back, Shamir. Love all those hearts. So asylum, if you came in with fraudulent documents, that's a separate issue versus asylum. So even though you may be granted asylum, you still have to deal with the fraud, and you may have to seek a waiver to overcome the fraud. If that answers your question, my friend. Any updates on I-601A? Well, we have some cases going 2-3 years, and I-601A is a provisional waiver. And with a provisional waiver, what that is that if you enter the U.S. Without inspection, and you're in the U.S. and you marry a U.S. citizen, because you enter without inspection, you have to get a waiver asking the government to pretty much forgive your unlawful entry and unlawful presence, and you have to file a waiver. The U.S. is allowing, under the I-601A, this is a leftover of President Obama, is allowing you to file your waiver here in the U.S. In the past, you would have to leave the U.S., go out of the country to your native country, and file the waiver at the embassy abroad. But the I-601A allows you to file the waiver here in the U.S., and once it's approved, then you still have to go back to your native country to pick up your visa. Okay? But I-601A, the ones pending at our office, are pending 2-3 years. For an I-601A, the interview is normally abroad. So you have to leave the U.S. to go pick up your visa abroad once your I-601A is conditionally approved. I see a lot more people have joined us on TikTok. Hello there. I am Immigration Attorney Gail Seeram. Thank you all for checking in today. We are here to answer your questions. So go ahead and post your questions. We're going to try our best to get your questions. This is, we're trying to do this every Monday. If you want to set a reminder, we won't be here next Monday, but every Monday at 5:30, as I am available, we are trying to answer your immigration questions through these live immigration info sessions. Go to our website, GailLaw.com, book your free consultation. We do offer free consultations, except in cases where there's a prior filing, prior criminal history, prior immigration case, any arrest, any removal or deportation. Those cases are $100 for the consultation, okay? I'm going to go through some of my questions that are coming in on our TikTok. Let's share. Let people know that you're on this live session so we could get everyone's questions answered. A question came in, can I terminate my removal proceedings if USCIS accepts my I-45, I-130? If you are in removal proceedings and your I-130 has been approved, not pending. Your I-130, meaning your family-based petition, has to be approved by USCIS. Once you have an approved I-130, then you will have to file that with the court asking for a motion to terminate. And again, you might need an immigration attorney for that. So it's not just, from our friend James, not just the fact that it's pending, will your case be terminated. The I-130 has to be approved, and then you have to motion with the court. The court can decide to terminate, and then USCIS will make a decision on your I-45 or your green card. But the court can also choose to not terminate and still keep your case and adjudicate your case. I did have a question that came through on YouTube, and then it just disappeared. It kind of comes on, and then it disappears. Let me see if I can get my chat viewing options. Okay, the person who asked the question on YouTube, if you can kindly ask the question again, because it popped up and then it just faded away. So if you can please, our YouTube friend, if you can ask that question again so I can get to you on YouTube. Again, we are Immigration Attorney Gail Seeram. Been practicing immigration law 24 years. We are here on TikTok. And YouTube, can green card be purchased? No, it cannot be purchased. That is illegal. Green card cannot be purchased. You have to, depending on if it's a family-based or employment-based or investment-based, you have to meet certain criteria under the law before your case is approved by an immigration officer. So no, 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 a green card cannot be purchased. Again, that question on YouTube, if you can ask again, that will be great because I love to get that answered. I'm going back to TikTok. Do you know how to contact the NVC? Yes. If you would like to contact the NVC, I can give you a phone number. Grab your pen there, France. And the phone number to NVC is, let me see if I can interact with you guys, answer questions. I'm seeing if I can type the answer to the question for you, if you could bear with me. But the phone number, oh yes, I can. Let's see if I can do that. To my friend about NVC. And what is the NVC? The NVC is the National Visa Center. Okay, so the National Visa Center. Okay, I cannot find your question to answer it, but the phone number to the National Visa Center is 603-334-0700. Okay, so that is the phone number to the National Visa Center. If you have a case pending at the National Visa Center, we can help you. Go to our website, GailLaw.com, hit the blue button, book an appointment with our office. It will be $100 since you have a prior filing. We will go through and give you an idea of what the process can be like at the Visa Center, okay? The Visa Center is the second to last step. Once you complete processing at the Visa Center, then the file will move to the embassy, okay? So if you're looking to contact the Visa Center, maybe you have a case pending, maybe you have a question, again, that phone number to the Visa Center is 603-334-0700. But we also will be happy to do a case evaluation for you, okay? I saw a question about an I-601A transfer notice or interview. If you're getting a transfer notice for an I-601A, they are opening more service centers to clear up the backlog, have more people review cases. So it could be that your case is actually being looked at now if it's being transferred from one office to another office to lighten up the burden that the office is being transferred from. Or if you get a transfer notice, it could be transferred for an interview, okay? And that is to answer a question for our YouTube friend. And we're trying to answer those questions. What if you filing for a child over 21? If you're filing for a child over 21, and this is coming from our head sick friend on YouTube, it depends on if you're a citizen or green card holder. I answered this question 2 times today, so I have the dates memorized. If you are a U.S. citizen filing for a child over 21 that is unmarried, immigration is working on January of 2015. If you are a permanent resident filing for an unmarried child over 21, immigration is working on September 2015. So you're looking at about an 8-year wait for an unmarried child over 21, okay? Waiting 3 years already. Yeah, 601As are very backlogged. Okay. Sean, thank you. I'm glad that you think that we are always informative. That's what we're here to do, to share immigration info. We understand that everybody has the resources to hire a lawyer. So as much as we can give some free information that can help the community, I think it's beneficial, to all. Because at the end of the day, we want to see people get approved. Whether you use our office or not, we want to see you get approved and not get denied, okay? But again, if you use an attorney, you have more of a likelihood to get approved, okay, guys? How long does an I-290B take? An I-290B is an appeal. So that can take a while depending on who you're appealing. If you're appealing from court, if you're appealing USCIS, if you're appealing a decision from the embassy, they can take 1 year to 2 years. Best indication is you could go on USCIS website and see which office, it depends on which office you're appealing to, okay? Can my green card be revoked if my husband and I get divorced? It depends on if your green card can't be revoked. It depends on, and this is for Pat, do you have a 2-year green card or a 10-year green card, okay? If you have a 2-year green card, at the end of the 2 years, you have to file a petition to get the 10-year card. You could file it with your spouse jointly, but you could also file it on your own. If you have a 10-year green card, then you're good. You don't have to do any other filing unless you decide you want to file for citizenship or you need to renew your green card. But just by the act of getting divorced, your green card does not get automatically revoked, okay? Immigration can revoke your green card, but they have to do it under the law, and they have to have a legal basis to revoke or take away your green card, okay? If you're a DACA recipient, you don't go from DACA recipient to citizenship, unfortunately. If you're a DACA recipient, DACA is not legal. DACA is not a green card. DACA is not a permanent resident. DACA is not citizenship. DACA is just deferred action for childhood arrivals, which means immigration is going to defer action. All DACA is we're not going to deport you as a young immigrant, and we're going to give you a work permit. But DACA is not legal status here in the United States. It's just prevention of being deported and giving you a work permit. So if you're a DACA recipient, and say you marry a U.S. citizen or you have a child over 21 that's U.S. citizen, and then those qualifying people can file for you to get permanent residency in the U.S. So as a DACA recipient, you still have to meet certain requirements in order to get permanent residency in the U.S. Once you're a permanent resident or green card holder, then you can file for citizenship based on 5 years of residency. Okay, so I hope that helps you there, Alicia. Happy to take any follow-up questions, Alicia. You could go on our website, book an appointment with us, so we could, see other options for you. Again, share. Let everybody know that you're on this live session with the best immigration lawyer in Orlando. I'm Immigration Attorney Gail Seeram. We have been named Best Lawyer, as you can see in the back here behind me, in Orlando Magazine since 2017. So we are based in Orlando, but we do handle immigration cases all over the world and all over the U.S. So trust your immigration matter to our office. We try to make it simple for you to try to get to talk to me. Just go to our website, GailLaw.com, hit the blue button, book your appointment online, okay? I did see an alert that I am something with my connection, so I want to make sure we're having a good connection. If we are not, please let me know. Chat and let me know, okay? Going back to our questions here, guys. My spouse and my 2 children have an interview with the embassy. Okay, if you have an interview with the embassy, you have to make sure you get a medical exam and you take your passport, your valid passport, and your police clearance that has not expired. Police clearances expire after 1 year. So make sure you take your police clearance, okay, to your embassy appointment. I don't know any specific question. Thank you, Alicia, for liking the live. If you guys like what you're hearing, go ahead and like us, like our page, follow our page. We're in Orlando. Our office is in West Orlando, off of Colonial Drive, Pine Hills Road, okay? Been at this location for 20 years, only practicing immigration law. We do not handle TPS. I see a question coming in. Can I get a divorce if you get a 10-year visa? Yes, you can get divorced. It may or may not impact the visa. Visas can always be canceled and terminated with a reason or without a reason, okay? You do not have a right to a tourist visa. If the immigration chooses to cancel or revoke it, they can, and they do not have to give you an explanation, okay? If you marry a person outside the U.S., what's the fastest way to get them here? Spouse of a U.S. citizen, processing time is 1 year, 3 steps. First, we file the marriage-based petition, and then in about 9 months, the file goes to the visa center, and then in about 12 months after we file, it goes to the embassy. This is an estimate of current processing time. So if you marry someone outside the U.S. and you're a U.S. citizen, you want to file for that U.S. citizen spouse that's abroad to come to the U.S. It's a 1 year processing time, 3 steps. It's a majority of what we do. Please contact our office. If you have no prior filing, DJ Kenny, we'd be more than happy to give you a free case evaluation. Go to our website, GailLaw.com, hit the blue button, book your appointment online. Rana, yes, you want to ask a question? That's what we're here for. We're here to answer your immigration questions live almost every Monday. So mark it on your calendar, Mondays at 5:30. Check us out on our TikTok, My U.S. Immigration Lawyer, on YouTube, My U.S. Immigration Lawyer, and on Facebook, our Facebook group, My U.S. Immigration Lawyer, or just hashtag GailLaw. Okay, but also if you go to our website, GailLaw.com, you'll see all the social media. But on the Mondays when we're streaming live, we just do it on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. So like, share. I see we have about 1,500 likes already. That is awesome. We are very happy that you guys are enjoying the conversation. And let me go back to some questions here. How fast can U.S. citizen bring if it's pending at the visa center for more than 2 years? If you're a U.S. citizen, bring in your spouse. Your case should not be pending at the visa center for 2 years. There's something going on there, something not being submitted correctly. So pay the $100 and set a consultation with our office, okay? And we're more than happy to look at that and see why your case is still pending at the visa center. If your case is still pending at the visa center, it's because you're not giving the visa center a required document. You will not move on to the next step of the embassy. So it goes visa center to embassy. You will not move on to that next step until the visa center has all the required documents that they need. They won't send the file to the embassy without gathering all the required documents. How long can ICE detain an immigrant with TPS? That depends on what that person is being charged with, which immigration violation that person is being charged with. But if someone's being detained by ICE and if they are going to see a judge, it could be a few months that they could be detained there, okay? And again, we don't do asylum cases. Had my first marriage interview. They sent me another interview. What is going to happen? Well, Aman, if you had your first interview, that means that it did not go well, or maybe they found some information that was in contradiction to testimony you gave at your first interview. If you're going in for a second interview, I would definitely lawyer up. If you're here in Orlando, we'd be more than happy to give you a case evaluation and attend your interview with you. But if they're calling you in for a second interview, that second interview is going to be very tough. Be prepared to be separated from your spouse, to be interviewed separately, have your answers be compared. So that means there's some doubt in the officer's mind if they're bringing you in for a second interview. How long can a conditional green card holder stay out of the U.S.? If you're a conditional green card holder or a green card holder, if you're out for more than a year and a day, you lose your green card automatically under the law. However, you have to use discretion when staying out of the country, okay? I tell people to not really stay out for more than 3 months. I think anytime you stay out for longer than 3 months when you're coming back in, the officer is going to raise an eye. It's going to raise a red flag. The officer is going to wonder, why were you out for so long? And you put yourself at risk for the officer to take away your green card, okay? So just be mindful. You have a you have a conditional green card, but it's a resident card. It's a resident card and it's given to you to reside in the U.S., not to spend a significant amount of time outside the U.S., okay? Can you get divorced if you have a 10-year resident card? Yes, you can if you have a 10-year resident card. That's up to you. Getting the divorce will not impact the card, if that's what the question is. So it will not impact the card. And if you've had a 10-year resident card, if you have a 10-year resident card and you've been a resident living in the U.S. for 5 years, you should consider filing to become a U.S. citizen, okay? Next question. Can you tell me if a person is illegal and paying taxes, how long they can apply for a green card? Don't really understand that question. If you're illegal, you want to apply for a green card. If you're in the U.S., and you already overstayed and you entered legally, you could get a permanent residency through marriage to a U.S. citizen. If you have a parent that's a U.S. citizen and you're under 21, or if you have a child over 21 that's a U.S. citizen that can file for you. But again, for our friend Pre, just go ahead and go to our website, GailLaw.com, hit the blue button, book an appointment online, okay? And we can try to help you drill through some of these questions. Can my husband file for me and my 18-year-old daughter? We were married before she turned 18. Yes, Red Queen, the answer to that is yes. And I would, again, make an appointment with our office because I would like to do a consultation, gather some information about you, your daughter, your entry, your husband, make sure he's a citizen, and give you some free advice on the steps of the process. I believe all my clients, I want them to be informed consumers, meaning to know what service you're getting and what are the steps ahead. Okay, because immigration is a process and it's not an overnight process. It takes time to get that benefit. So we like people to understand that. Engaged to a Brazilian who is here on student visa. Can she go home for a visit? That depends. If she's on a student visa, if she has a valid visa, then she could use that visa for reentry. And if she has an I-20 that's valid, then she can use the visa and the I-20 to reenter. However, if her visa has expired, she will not, if she leaves, she would not be able to enter with the visa. Okay? So if son is engaged to Brazilian. Okay, so if your son is thinking about taking the next big step of getting married to his Brazilian girlfriend, we will be more than happy to answer those questions during a consultation, okay? Came to the U.S. in 2016, applied for asylum, getting my EAD, no interview. Asylums, we don't handle asylum cases, but asylum cases can take up to 10 years because there's so many, everybody that's coming through that southern border, that's what they're applying for, asylum. So there's a huge backlog with asylum. Friends, we have about 10 minutes more. Get your questions in on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Ask us your questions. 10 more minutes, and then we'll have to wait for the next live session. Does a minor child 3 years old have an interview? Yes, that child can. They would want to, not that the child maybe ask questions, but they may want to see the petitioner. So yes, and if the child is abroad, definitely that child will have an interview at the U.S. Embassy, and a guardian or parent will have to take that child in for the interview. Can your spouse get you in trouble not living with you? If a spouse head sick, I agree. I am the best, and I try to make my clients, we dot our I's, we cross our T's. So we don't play games. And if I ask you for something, it's because that's what immigration wants. So I appreciate that compliment very much. But your spouse, if your spouse can get you in trouble, I don't know if you're trying to ask me if your spouse can get your green card taken away. Once you have your green card, you have the green card. Only immigration can take away the green card or revoke it, but they have to do it under a legal basis. Okay, not just because someone said, oh, take away the green card, they're going to take it away. They have to find some kind of fraud or crime that you've committed in order to revoke or take away your green card, okay? He is 9. I filed since he was 5. That depends, Moko. If you are a permanent resident, filing for child under 21, right now it's about a 5-year backlog. They retrogressed and went backwards. So if you filed and you haven't heard anything, and you're a permanent resident, then that sounds about right. You'll have to wait to get a notification that the file is at the visa center. I'm from Guyana. Okay, well, nice to meet you. A lot of questions are coming in now. Oh, okay. Let me try to go back because the questions, is it normal to not get a decision after an interview? Yes, it is normal to our YouTube friend to not get a decision after the interview. It can take 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 1 year to get a decision from immigration. They sometimes investigate, run background checks. So after you have your interview, either you can get approved and you just get an approval notice and the green card in the mail. You could get a request for evidence. They may ask you for more evidence, or they may put the case under what we call administrative review. Okay, so you may not get a decision right away. Again, we're located in Orlando, Florida. How long does it get a work permit? About 3 to 6 months for the work permit if based on a spousal petition. After the marriage interview, decision is pending. Yeah, decision could be pending for a while. How long to wait for Florida to get spouse here? It doesn't matter where you are. Immigration is federal law. So no matter what embassy you're at, it's going to be the same wait time at the embassy to get an interview, which spouse of a U.S. citizen, but from start to finish to get that interview is about 1 year, okay? My mom is a U.S. citizen and sponsored me since 2015. Are you, for Prasad 1210, are you a unmarried child of a U.S. citizen? If so, immigration is working on September of 2015. So your mom would have gotten notification from the Visa Center or USCIS on the status of that case. I see a lot of questions about pending. Again, if you have a pending case and you want us to really dig into it and give you a solid answer, the best thing is to make an appointment. It will be a paid consultation for $100 because you have a pending case. But go to our website, GailLaw.com, hit the blue button, book your appointment online. That is going to be the best scenario for us to look at your pending case, look at the receipt notice, look at the approval notice, look at any last communication you got from immigration, and be able to tell you exactly what is going on, what needs to be done, okay? Okay, thank you for that, Ruby Rose there. How long is it to wait interview? How long? So that's all I'm saying. How long? I get it. You guys are impatient waiting, but again, we could do a paid consultation after marriage interview. Okay, you can wait a while for the interview after the marriage. And what visas are available for a person being stranded due to family issues? Well, that depends, Nikki. What type of family do you have in the U.S.? Do you have a spouse? Do you have a sibling? Do you have a parent? Those are about the people who can petition for you. Do you have a child in the U.S.? Okay, we don't do asylum cases. I'm sorry. And the marriage interviews. Yes, so marriage interviews, again, you can get a request for evidence. You could be calling for a second interview. You can also be put under administrative review, where immigration can also come to your house. I've seen that, where immigration goes to your house after an interview to make sure that you guys really are living together. But they're just reviewing the file, okay? My cousin family has 4 refusal visas. Keep trying. Yeah, you can keep trying. No one has a right to a tourist visa. When you're applying for a tourist visa, the burden is that you have to show that you have strong ties to your country and you have no intents to immigrate to the United States. So a lot of times it's not an invitation letter that matters. I tell people, take deeds, take a job letter, show your ties to your country, okay, that you have all intentions to return to your country. And the reason why there's such a strict scrutiny for tourist visa is because a lot of people, when they enter the U.S. with a tourist visa, unfortunately, they don't go back home. And that's why the embassy is very strict in scrutinizing applicants for tourist visas, okay? I see a lot of questions still coming in, but we are at our timeline. We're only doing this for a half an hour. We're trying to do this every Monday. Set the reminder, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, hit us up on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. We are here to answer your questions. I am Immigration Attorney Gail Seeram. Find us on our website, find us online, hashtag GailLaw, #GailLaw, and you'll see a lot of information on the internet about us. I encourage you to read our reviews. Yes, we have some fake 1-star reviews, but check us out online. Go to our website, GailLaw.com, see what people are saying. We have over 19 TV interviews. We've been named Best Lawyer almost 7 years in a row here in Orlando. We have 24 years of experience in immigration law. That's what we are dedicated to practicing. We only practice immigration law. When you are ready, we are more than happy to help you. Go to GailLaw.com, hit that blue button, book your appointment online. I thank you all. Oh, U.S. citizens stuck in Israel, you need to contact the U.S. Embassy. Contact the U.S. Embassy. The U.S. Embassy employees are still in Israel, and they could assist you with getting out of Israel, okay? And that is the Department of State warning is for U.S. citizens to leave Israel at this time, okay? In this time of terrorist attack. So, again, Attorney Gail Seeram checking out. Looking forward to seeing you, not next Monday, but the Monday after that, so we can continue our immigration info sessions live with you. So check us out again on October 23rd. See you then, friends. Thank you for joining us today.